That was the Archetype Nolly X by Neural DSP. It's been about a year since I've dove deep into any new plugins that are out there. You guys know for about the past year or so, I've been mainly playing through live amplifiers and amp pedals. But I'm diving back into the world of plugins and amp sims for a very specific reason. I'll share more about why at the end of the video. But now I want to take you through a deep dive of the Archetype Nolly X. I'm going to show you what this thing can do, and then I'm going to share some presets with you, which actually kind of blew me away. I didn't know this amp could do all the stuff that it can do. So let's take a dive into the Archetype Nolly X. Already you can see a very clean interface, user-friendly. I mean, it looks just like an amplifier. You've got the knobs. You've also, if you look down at the very bottom of the screen, you've got 4 different types of amps paired with a cabinet down there. I want to share the amplifiers with you first. This first amp here is your clean amp. And again, you can see it's paired with its own cab there. All right, if we go to the next amp, you've got a crunch. So we're kind of moving up the chain here. Now this is said to have more of like a British style crunch. If we move over to the next amp, this is called your rhythm amplifier, and it's got some really cool gain to it. I mean, you can play all kind of metal with this, really any subgenre of metal. And lastly, you've got a lead head here. Now this can be used obviously for rhythm or lead. It gives you quite a different metal tone, high gain tone than the amp that we just looked at. Now again, if I go to the cabinet for this amplifier here, you can see it's got its own cab. The cool thing I want to share with you real quick before we dig into the cabs and mics and all that is at the very bottom where you see the amplifiers, there's a little link here. If you click on that, it allows you to unlink the head and the cab. So now, for example, I am on, what is this, the lead amplifier here. Now, if I want to change the cab, I can go to any one of these cabs. Let's just go back to the very first one. So now I'm matched up with the lead head with the clean cabinet. If I want to move over here to the crunch cab, the cab we use for the crunch amp, there you go. Now if I want to change amp heads here, let's keep the crunch, or keep the crunch cab rather, we can switch over to the rhythm head. So you can mix and match all of the amps and cabs, and that just gives you far more possibilities for shaping your tone. Now let's talk about the cab real quick. So as you can see, you've got 2 microphones. You can move these all around here. You can either move the mic itself like I'm doing on screen here, or you've got knobs that you can use to move them that way if you prefer to do that. Now I want to show you the different mics that you have. So you've got all your main characters, your mics you expect to see, Dynamic 57 to 421, your condenser mics 184, 414, your ribbon mics 121, 160, and you've got them set to where they can be kind of on axis, off axis here, I believe. Now let's head over to the pre-effects. You've got 4 different effects here. So you've got a compressor, you've got 2 overdrives, and you've got a delay. You can see right now, I'm going to click my overdrive on. This is the one I like to use for the rock and the metal stuff. You see I've got my drive all the way down, my level all the way up, and tone, I usually leave that like midway there, and that'll give you that really tight, nice and tight metal tone there. So again, you've got all these other effects you can use here. Some people like to use a compressor when they're playing clean, or if they're playing some kind of gritty, crunchy tones, and you've got the other overdrive that give you some different sounds as well. Now let's go to the post EQ here. So you've got a 9-band EQ. I mean, you can do a world of tone shaping with that. Now, if we head over to the post effects, you've got a delay. This is your second delay. Remember, you've got a delay pedal in your pre-effects as well, but you've got a delay here with many more features for delay, and you've got a reverb pedal. And I'll say the reverb sounds really good. I'm very surprised by the delay. I was thinking, okay, well, I've only got 2 effects here. Well, I can only do so much with that. Actually, when we get to some of the presets I'm going to share with you, you're going to hear the different stuff you can do with this plugin. Now, the last thing I want to show you before we get to hearing some of these presets are, well, the presets. There are a ton of presets in here by Nolly. You can see all these, all-purpose metal, AT lead, born in Sweden, all kind of presets in here, different styles. You also have artist presets. There are a ton of artist presets in here. If you scroll over each one of these names, you see a ton of presets within each name. And then you've got Neural DSP presets as well. So I'm actually just going to share a few of Nolly's presets with you. Some of the things he dialed in here sound really cool. So let's hear a few of those now. Now the reason why it's been over a year since I've dove deep into any new amp sims or plugins is because I've been using real amplifiers and or amp pedals for the past year. A little history behind that, and a lot of you already know this if you've been following my channel. Thank you for the support, by the way. But I've mainly been using Blackstar amps and or amp pedals. You guys know I did some promotional work for some of their items over this past year or so, and look, I still play through my Blackstar amplifier, the HT Venue Series MK3 amplifier, the half stack over here. I play through that amp pretty much every single day. I love that amplifier, it's awesome, but I'm considering switching back over to mainly playing with plugins for writing purposes and practice and that sort of thing. And there are a couple reasons which I'll share in a second, but real quick, I want to let you know this video is not sponsored by Neural DSP. In fact, this is just the trial version of the Archetype Nolly X. Now, it's the full-blown version. I believe they give you a certain amount of time to try it out. And actually, I tried this out a couple of years ago. Wasn't too impressed, but I'm pretty impressed with what I've heard and what I've played through that you heard in this video here. I'm still undecided if I'm going to actually buy this plugin. I want to try their Soldano. I've heard great things about that. I know I put something out there on my YouTube community post and you guys answer back, yeah, try the Soldano. And I'm looking to maybe try 2 or 3 more plugins. I'm going with what I already know is kind of the cream of the crop, those companies that are really on top of their game with this whole amp sim and plugin thing, because I want to go after the best and not have to try a bunch of different stuff. Hopefully that makes sense. And I know sometimes you might have a smaller company that puts something out that's just really amazing. So again, that's why I'm asking you, please let me know in the comments if you've stumbled upon something that just blows your mind. It's like, okay, this is the amp sim. Now, a couple of reasons why I'm considering using primarily amp sims, and it doesn't mean I won't use a real amplifier. I'll probably still plug into my real amp, if not every day, several times a week. But I'm looking for, number one, the convenience and simplicity. So that's really important to me, kind of like helping out with the whole workflow, making things faster and more convenient so that I can get more done. I film a lot of stuff, of course, YouTube videos. I do stuff for social media. I film promotional work from time to time for other people. And I like to be able to just get my riffs when I'm writing music. I want to do a lot more of that. I want to be able to just get them down seamlessly. And I'm also looking to kind of cut down on the amount of equipment that I have as well. And I really don't have a lot, but there's a reason for that. See, my wife and I, and this is probably very premature, but we're considering making a big move here in a couple of years. And when we do that, we're probably going to be living in a smaller place like a condo for the first year or so. So I want to already start preparing for that. If and when that happens, I'm already set up for it. And I've already got the plugin of choice that really just does everything that I need it to do. Now, on that note, I'm not looking to try out a bunch of different plugins. I just want to try maybe a couple more of the Soldano. I'm probably going to try that next. Let me know if you'd like for me to do a video on that. And again, guys, if you have any like really premium plugins that blow your mind, please let me know what those are in the comments. Maybe I'll try those and put a video out there on those as well. But guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Hey, I hope you enjoyed this video. If nothing else, I hope it was kind of entertaining and hearing some new tones. Give this video a like if it did, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Guys, I'll see you on the next video. As always, keep it metal and keep playing music.